Let's get things going here. So more NFL action, even though there's some college football games going on right now. If you are watching some college football as well as this stream, let me know in the chat what game we are watching. As for the games we'll be going through today, we will get through week 9 and week 10. And I appreciate all of you who are letting a little bit more stream action kind of fill in with the busy work schedule. It is definitely helping out a lot. So I do appreciate that. And hopefully we will get back to normal weeks next week. And I'm hoping the week after that, things a little bit opened up next week. So I'm hoping to get some things pre-recorded. Though tomorrow we will have, tomorrow? What day is today? Today is Thursday. We will have the normal Kent State pre-recording done for tomorrow, but that will probably come out a little bit later, as obviously we are doing a live stream here. It's 5 o'clock Pacific time, so I'll probably have to record that in the morning, so it might be another mid to late afternoon Kent State tomorrow. As mentioned, we will get through the next couple games here today with the Giants, get a little bit of the background view of how things typically go here on this channel and how we go through these games. So let's just start off here by looking through a couple of the storylines that have come through. We had a breakout opportunity for McFadden. And trying to remember back to that Eagles game, a valiant effort, we came up short. I don't imagine McFadden completed what he needed to in this one. Wasn't the game he wanted individually. 1 second. Thought we almost had a sneeze there, but we're good. Yeah, that's a second miss here for Micah McFadden. I still think he's a solid linebacker. Whether he is the linebacker of this future, we'll have to find out as this season goes along. It is a contract year for him. Film room prep. Going into that Eagles game, we talked a lot about the defensive line needing to come through. And we got some pressure, but overall, I don't think the guys lived up to what we were hoping for. Dexter, you looked pretty broken up on the sidelines after today's game. How do you rebound after such an emotional loss? We wanted to win through the trenches, keep their offense in check. I'm proud of what my teammates did. As for me, I can't take credit for that success. I'm down because I know I didn't leave it all on the field. So Dexter Lawrence didn't perform well, but the other guys did. And I think we're going to praise Dexter Lawrence here. We didn't get it done today. With guys like Dexter, you can never count us out, and he's definitely helped us out a lot. We have a lot of guys who are kind of filling into that storyline right now of we're playing a lot of games close, but we're not necessarily getting the job done like we would hope. So definitely some things we do have to work on in that aspect. I think that is good enough for us to move on to the next week and actually really start getting into action here today. Now, typically, what I'll do before each of these games is kind of dive in and see what's happening with the teams we are facing. Just going through here, any good progress? No, we've actually had a lot of regression with those loadouts. We can touch on that a little bit here as well. But 49ers, they are 3-5. So are we. And right now, Philadelphia, with that win against us last week, they do jump up to second in the NFC East. But we have the chance today, if we could pick up wins against the bottom team in the NFC West, though not the bottom team in the NFC North. Chicago won last week, so they do jump up to second in the North, but they're only 4-3. They're one game above 500. If we pull off wins against both those teams, we could see ourselves finishing today 500, and perhaps with that, we might be around the midpoint of the season in the wild card hunt. That's why editing is always nice. As for, let's see, stats here for the 49ers. You do an update on ours. Jackson Dart, 14 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Not all those interceptions his fault. Some definitely are. Seeing a lot of passes behind. Tracy's averaging 5.5 yards a carry, 4 touchdowns for him. Dart, 8 yards a carry. Scattaboo He's gotten a little bit more involved, but frankly, he's just not quite getting the same blocking we are seeing with Tracy. So hopefully we'll see that kind of step up. And speaking of stepping up, Wan'Dale Robinson has had a fantastic performance here of late. He and Neighbors very much need to lead the receiving corps. We primarily use the two. Theo Johnson has definitely started to emerge. He currently is the touchdown receiving leader on this team, though seeing a steep amount less catches, targets than Robinson. So we'll look to get him a little bit more involved. The offensive line got shaken up last week. Runyon has struggled at the gate. Schmitz moving from center now over to guard. We'll see how he does as Illuminor continues to recover from his injuries. And I went out of there too quickly. Defensive-wise, Javon Holland is already at 51 tackles. Only one guy, Dexter Lawrence, in double digits for TFLs. Sack leader also looks to be Lawrence with 5.5. 2 for Alexander, the rookie. We are not getting much pressure from the edge. Obviously, we moved on Brian Burns. He did have some sacks. Hopefully, we'll get Thibodeau involved. Just started the last couple games. Picking up some TFLs. Hopefully, he catches his groove. He has some high ceiling if he can perform. Same for Carter. Interception-wise, only 4 so far this year. No one exactly leading in that bunch. And kicking-wise, could be perhaps a little bit better with Graham Gano. Hopefully today we don't have to rely on that and we could actually find some bigger wins if I stop exiting these menus that we need. Now for the 49ers, Brock Purdy on that big old contract now. He is 74% complete heading into this game. 17 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's playing clean, a little bit over 1,700 yards. Christian McCaffrey right now is healthy. His 9th year. And he has 3 touchdowns, 1 fumble. He's averaging about 4.5 yards. Kyle Juszczyk is getting the ball, looks like, towards the end zone, and Jordan James is getting in the mix, the rookie from Oregon. 1 touchdown for him, though averaging a little less than a yard. Receiving-wise, Ayuk, close to 15, a little bit over 15 yards a grab, 11 touchdowns already, so they're looking his way quite often. Jennings as well, though not the touchdown production. Kittle might be a little bit more of a red zone threat now at this point of his career. Offensive line, doing okay. We might be able to get some good rush, though, down the middle with Brendel giving up 3 sacks. Dexter Lawrence with a breakout would be great. Fred Warner still sticking around here, leads them in tackles with 7 TFLs. Nick Bosa, he leads them in sacks as well with 6. Michael Williams, the rookie from Georgia, has 3. And the interception leader is Nick Martin, a rookie from Oklahoma State. The will linebacker, we have a corner from there, but he's bottom of our depth chart. They also have 4 interceptions on the year. A little bit cleaner from Justin Tucker, hitting from good range still, but it's just not that many attempts, so they are finding their points or not getting anywhere close. That's good things for us to know. And I think with this one, we think about this strategy heading into this game. Obviously, Bosa could be a problem on the outside. Pass rush will be a problem, so the pass has to come out quick. Fred Warner could stop the plays down the middle. So I'm thinking here, we try to set up our offense here. Now, normally, I will go with 1 for our defense, as that typically is our best side. Now, I'm not too worried about Brock Purdy scrambling right now. So let's boost our linebackers, as it is one of our more weaker groups, most developed needed groups. And the offensive side. Now, when we started this year, we had at least level 3 here on the Dr. Dots, but it has very much decreased due to all those turnovers, the interceptions from Dart. I would like to continue seeing that improve. So with that, I think what we're going to do here is take off the sure hands, and we're going to go with Dr. Dots, as well as the Blitz Buster, just to try to help the offensive line, especially if it is counting Bosa as a outside linebacker in certain cases, coming on a blitz. It might help us out just a little bit there. So that was what we're going to rock here with the loadout. And the play sheets, I always do the same. I stick to what we run here. So we do 1 on defense, 1 on offense. Though I'm missing what I have been using on the offensive side, which was the West Coast one. So it looks like we need to change things up a little bit then. None exactly fit. So I think what we will do is go 2-minute play sheet for now. And we'll stick with the 4-2-5 on defense. That's a little bit surprising that we no longer have that. And then to help with injuries. Normally, again, I do the same. Did I not click on the injury one? Maybe I didn't. For the injury ones, though, I do stick with reduced wear and tear taken during games. And then I also go with the prevent practice injuries as well to try to keep as most of our guys healthy and out on that field as possible. So we will confirm that. One thing to note here as well is these games we're going to jump into are going to be the first games that we're going to play where we actually have sliders installed. And they are MAT 10 sliders for, not Heisman, All-America, or All-Madden. Playing 2 games now. Kind of get stuck in your head a little bit here. And we definitely can have everyone perform here. So let's go full pads. Mostly just looking to see if there are any people that are injured. If not, or high wear and tear. If not, we go full pads. Edge rush, Thibodeau, no, you're practicing. Got to get that development going here. Now, last episode, practice did not treat us very well. We had to play a game with only 2 active receivers. Hopefully, that is not the case here today. And hopefully practice goes well for us. We get some good boosts, and we don't get injured. And speaking of injured, Jermaine Illuminor, we already had that one. And Don Gardner. No idea who that is. He must be on the practice squad. So we look to be pretty healthy, at least for the most part here. No one was listed as out. Questionable Jonathan Edwards. Again, I don't remember having him on this team, so it must be another practice squad. And a few more practice squad guys. So for the most part, it looks like the defense looks to be pretty good. A lot of practice squad injuries, though. Yeah, not seeing anyone of major note here that is in the 53-man outside of Jermaine Illuminor, who we already know is out with that abdominal tear. So we are looking pretty good there. Upgrade a couple players, and then we'll look to kickstart game action here soon. So we do have quite a few upgrades to go through here. Dante Banks. A little bit quicker menu action there. That was a thing involved in the recent update. Though the ratings here are looking pretty raw for Banks. We'll stick with man-to-man here. Scheme fit. I do love a solid 6 rough foot corner around 200 pounds with that press man. Though that might have been because not necessarily growing up, but prime understanding football and watching Xavier Rhodes. A definite fit in there for sure. We'll try to get a little bit of some pass coverage here with Micah McFadden. That is his best chance on getting to the field full time. Right now, we do have Sanders, who we traded for the beginning of this series. He's been the secondary starter for the nickel linebackers. John Michael Schmitz Jr., we will go power offensive line. Typically, I do go power. Not much in terms of the elusiveness, especially if they're down the middle. I feel like there's a lot more power guys than there are elusive guys on the other side of the line. And then Eric Gray, we'll upgrade Gray because he is somewhat in the rotation for us, sticking with the elusive back. We run West Coast power. So with that, he technically is not a scheme fit. But with West Coast power, you really could still run elusive backs, no problem. You just don't get the boost there for the scheme fit. Marcus Harris, do a little bit of some nose tackle work, although when looking at him, he looks more like a 3-tech. Coming in at, 86 pounds. He's definitely a 3-tech, one of our more recent additions after all the trades, adding in a young, cheap defensive lineman to be backup for us. All right, just checking over on the stream here, making sure we're doing well. One more thing before we get into the game. We've got the In the Zone storyline. So let's check this out. That name does not sound familiar. We're headed to Coach's office here. Week 9. What's that trophy for? Because right now, Coach Bearington does not have any trophies. Maybe that's something from his past. Hey, Tyler, thanks for stopping by. We've had a great start for a great season so far. Tyler Newbin. Okay, thanks, coach. But all I really care about is helping out the team and doing what's needed. Okay, let's talk about the second half of the season. So, Newbin, he's a little bit more of our rangy safety. So what I would personally like from him is to see some more interceptions. I would like for him to also know what he wants to do. That would definitely help out too. But if we could force some more turnovers, that's exactly what we're talking about here. We need some interceptions from that safety spot. Create some turnovers, get the ball to our offense in short field, and let them go to work. Finished the season with 15 interceptions. That is quite okay as a defensive unit. That makes a little bit more sense. Because I don't think one guy is getting 15. How we doing, Derek? Thanks for the comments coming in. Always wanted to see this. Well, you're going to get a live view here at basically the background of how I make these videos and how we get through them a little bit quicker than we do with the Kent State series, though we may have an update on that Kent State series and the baseball series as well that we just started. I'm going to give that baseball series about a week, maybe 2 more to see how it does. But that is something I am keeping an eye out on. And maybe if we do switch things up and we have more college football, we might do a little bit more style like this as well, mixed in, where we go through things a little bit quicker. But with that, we are just about all good to jump in. Ooh, that's a big update, though. Christian McCaffrey will be out this game. 25% health. So he did actually suffer an injury because it looked like he was playing most of their games here. Let's check in. The 49ers, he broke his thumb, so that was probably a practice injury that is sitting him out for potentially the next 2 weeks. That's only good news for us, though, and for our defense. But with that, I think it is time here to, remove my face here from the video and look to get stuck in against the 49ers, who are doing well running the ball. Average in passing, average in defensive points allowed, less than average though in passing yards given up, and about average in rushing yards given up. We are top 10 in both yards offensive, passing, and rushing, though the defense apparently needs some work. So let's see if we can improve that here as we look to get into the game. And with the new update, one thing I would love to see that has not worked for me yet is, can we actually view and edit the CPU uniforms? Yes, we can. Okay, that is great. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the 49ers do have the rivalry kit. I think just because it came out today, we are going to do essentially a color rush game here. Except now we can't view our uniforms. Madden, I would love if you could fix your stuff. So we got the alternate classics. I was hoping to find some red. Can anyone let me know right here? Do we know? Because honestly right now I can't remember. It's the color rush from the 2020s. Is that the white uniform or is that red uniform? Oh no, Derek over here saying that we choke. We don't choke in these games. We play them close. Oh yeah, Derek, they are white. I'll say we'll rock the white. Even though we're going to be home, we will rock the white. It fits in then with the thumbnail. So let's jump on in then back to MetLife. And hopefully this time the boys don't choke here for Derek. But against the San Francisco 49ers with a doubleheader coming to us and a chance to climb back to 500. Christian McCaffrey out this game. Defense for the Giants have flown around well this year. Can the offense pick up pace and keep the game clean with a stout set of top-end players for the 49ers on both sides? Good news for us, we will be starting off with that ball. Justin Tucker to kick us off. Weird seeing him in a 49ers uniform. Scattaboo back to return. He starts right hash. Cannot shake the tackle. It will be the 23 where Dart takes the field. The rookie has shown promise this year, but it's the turnovers that have slowed this offense down. We'll be taking over inside the 25, a heavy set. 3 tight ends in over on the right-hand side. Tracy the back to start today with a stacked front here from the 49ers. It's going to be Tracy left side. He breaks off a 1. Fred Warner there with the tackle. Hey, Derek, I appreciate the comment there. Wouldn't it be crazy, though, to get to 1 mil subs? Glad you have something to watch, though, whenever you get home from school. That's what I used to do way back in the day. Keeps getting longer and longer ever since Newbin had the step. The pressure comes in, and you know what we forgot to do? I was so excited about jumping into this game, we forgot to change our playbook. So we are not rocking the 2-back offense for this game. Pressure builds as Dart cannot escape Alfred Collins. And we're going to back up here and have to punt this ball away. Now, normally what we do here in this series is we play the first two series. Kind of a play on words there. But 1 for the offense, 1 for the defense. And then we'll start to sim through a little bit of things and kind of do our own custom play the moments. But Brock Purdy heading out here with a big old contract now, though missing his top running back. Plenty of other talent, though, on this offense. Kittle, Jennings, and Ayuk have performed well here this season. As they look with some play action and find Kittle here out the gate, chopped down, it's Phillips. Gain of 9 here for the 49ers out the gate. We'll see Pearsall join the bunch too here with a bunch to the right. More play action and another short dump off finds Pearsall forced out at the 46. Already 49ers have moved their way into plus side. Sticking with the bunch. And some more play action here for Purdy. He's got time to throw downfield and soft coverage from Adebo. Back-to-back catches, Pearsall. Now, obviously, since we did start this series early, we do not have the trade in for the new running back as they try to force their way outside, picking up 1, the rookie. Derek coming in here. What is your favorite rebuild that we've done? I'm going to go a little nostalgic here, and I'm going to say the replacement series we did with the Commanders, where we released everyone, brought in low overall guys, and it can only bring in guys drafted or certain overall tiers as we got better. That was a fun one. Probably after that one, I might have to go Panthers. Panthers had a lot of big name players for this channel as the rookie looks to get outside but stumbles as he looked to flip the hips. Bobby Okereke recovers. James down to the 10. Right now the 49ers, they are marching down the field. Ayuk, though, has not had a target. Nor Jennings. Might be a good time to look for him here, though. Out to the flat is Kittle. Holland forces him out. That one does go as a gain of 4. And now an empty set here for Purdy. Double A gap blitz here with a quick throw off the hands of Ayuk. And that one should have been a touchdown. Instead, it's 3rd and 6 here. Defense shaking up their look with some more spread empty. Purdy will look to step up. He throws with the pressure bearing down Abdul Carter from the right side. After a promising drive here from the 49ers, it stalls out inside the 10, and they will bring out Tucker for number 6 this season. Only one miss so far, and that puts the 49ers on the board. Now, Derek, since you did ask me what my favorite was, what has been your favorite rebuild? You could go either college football or Madden. Now, I'm not sure why I clicked into play this one, because normally from this point I do look to sim a little bit. Why not? We'll jump in and do the return here with Scattaboo to the 24. One thing that is slightly annoying here in this version of Madden is it's much harder to skip through some of those cutscenes. But basically, this is what we do. After each touchdown, each field goal, we will just jump on in here, and I kind of do my own play the moment versions here. Favorite one was Stanford. Yeah, that Stanford team became stacked. What was it? 4? I think 4 Heisman winners, all of which with a 3-yard loss there sets up 3rd and 10. But all of our Heisman winners were edge rushers, and it seems like the edge rushers showing up here, putting a lot of pressure on the offense. And we just throw it away there, so we end up punting that one away. Offense has yet to do anything here. We'll see if the Sim defense can get a quick stop. The final play, though, of the first quarter, it is 3rd and 3. And they've got the first down plus more. Brandon Ayuk actually holds on to that one. Normally, we'll go through this until they get into plus side, typically around the 40. We needed interceptions. We talked to Newman about it. But it's Paulson Adebo. I believe that puts him top on the board for the Giants this year in interceptions, and we will take over here at the 50. Well, Derek, since your favorite one was Stanford, how do you feel about Coach Bearington here headed to the league? Can he get this Giants team in tip-top shape as it's a quick throw out to Johnson, close to the first down marker. 2nd and inches. Come out here with a pistol set. Tight look. Tracy the lone back. He takes on Warner and gets smacked. Good news is he got smacked forward, and it's a first down. Here at the 38. Neighbors over on the right-hand side. Booty and Robinson to the left. Look for a little bit of some play action, perhaps. Pressure builds as that one is popped up and nearly picked off. Dart, we don't need interceptions like that. I think it's time we try to do something here against this pass rush. See if we can get Tracy leaking out on a screen to the left-hand side, though they have walked the safety down that way. I don't like the initial setup here. Let's change things up a little bit. Dart going to come in, make sure we got the double on the right-hand side. To Warner on the left. Or the slot corner plays that beautifully. We lose one. Fans not so happy about it. A little bit of some concern, and I understand that concern. Now, this is an interesting setup here as Scattaboo steps onto the field first time today on offense. I'm going to keep an eye on Robinson here as well, as he comes in motion from left side all the way to the outside at the right. Dart, there wasn't a single Giants receiver in about 20 yards of that throw. Good news is we are at the 39 here. So we've got Gano with a long kick. See if he could get us on the board here. No, of course it's blocked. Parham, those scoops, and Bosa is there. 49ers with the big play on special teams keeps them in charge, and they're going to take over here plus side. We will stay out here with the defense as well. Frankly, sometimes things just do not go your way, and that drive most definitely did not. Purdy takes over, handing this one off James, and Dexter Lawrence with a missed tackle. I don't know about that. Pretty decent start, though, so far for the rookie. Again, that's where good editing comes in. You would never know that I actually make fair amount of mistakes per game. They go with a stretch. Played well. Sanders slows him down, and the defense rallies for the TFL, pushing him back to the 42. For McFadden, that is the worry for him. Sanders is outplaying him right now, and he's younger. I feel like coach is doing bad here. It has been rough, but we've played in a lot of close games. We'll say that. Bobby cannot break it up. Kittle holds on. And that, I think, is exactly how this season has gone. A lot of close plays. We're teetering, as one of the previous episodes said, we're teetering between average and potentially being a good team. Someone forgot their man coverage as Juszczyk gets outside for 4. Right now, the plan is to keep Dart as the starter. Just for pure development's sake here in Season 1, Wilson is not going to be our future quarterback. As Juszczyk can't stay in bounds, he loses one. Now, whether Dart is our plans for the future, that is uncertain at this point. But for at least Season 1, he's our guy, as somehow Kittle gets away from Bobby Okereke, slipping tackles and fighting down to the 7. Plays like that we've had to deal with this season, where it looks like Bobby is in perfect coverage as we hit the 2-minute warning, yet somehow, some way, Kittle ends up making the play. The 49ers are back inside the 10. Coming out here with a 2 fullback set, plus the running back. Bobby sends himself on the blitz, but it's out to the flat with a timely hit there from Phillips. Keeps him out of the end zone for now. It is down at the 1. Goal line v. goal line. We're going to look to scrunch these things down here. They go outside. Holland plays it well, slows him down. Sanders cleans it up. And they back up to the 5 for 3rd and goal. Now we're going to come out here in the double A gap look, but bring the blitz from a lesser expected spot. Bobby, I actually need you in your spot here, as I expect the throw underneath, or leaking out. It will be a scramble to the end zone. Brock Purdy finds a gap and finds the 49ers up 2 scores here. Make it 10-0 with a little bit of time left in the first half. Derek coming in. Is Madden 25 and Madden 26 the same? I will say, frankly, I expected a little bit more here in the contract year for EA. I believe after this year, their solo deal with the NFL is up, unless they have renewed that contract, of which I'm not aware. But potentially after this year, I don't know, 2K or an indie team could look to also try to partner with the NFL and make a rival game to Madden, something we had in the 2000s. And I think that very much helped out Madden. We saw a lot of new things. Honestly, sometimes better things. Graphics, very much not the same, but gameplay-wise, you could argue that some of the older games had some better mechanics to them. So in terms of the same, I would say about so. They cleaned up a couple things UI-wise, but I expected a little bit more. Now with 1:07 here, down by 10. Dart. We need a strong drive here. The offense has been slow. We find Johnson underneath, and he's got the ball to the 40. We look to go a little bit hurry up here. 3 timeouts in that back pocket. Safeties playing about 10, 12 yards deep. And that ball is free. Recovered, though, by Schmitz. We're going to lose a good chunk there and call our first timeout. What a play, though, from the defense. Not sure if that was Bosa or not, but he made that play through a block. And we are back to the 32 here with a loss of 18. Immediate flag on the play. As no one's open, Dart just lets that one flutter to open field. And it's encroachment. We will take that. Free 5 yards here. If only we had a deep shot to go there, would have been a free play. Now let's see if we could get someone down the sideline here in Robinson. Just going to look to extend the route here of Neighbors. There we go. Just try to draw that safety over a little bit, perhaps. Actually cover that pretty well. Pump fake action, and throwing this one out is going to be to Tracy. Ripped down, and we will have to call our second timeout there. Looked like Neighbors was about to bust open deep downfield, but he cut off his route. And it ended up being a good thing that we pump faked that. Otherwise, that ball probably would have been intercepted. So at the 41 here, need about the opposite 41 for a field goal attempt. It's 3rd and 9. Coverage has been sticky, but what a throw from Dart that Robinson does not hold on to. We really could have used that one. We will have to punt this one away and most likely send this one on through the half. 49ers defense has been locked down so far in this one. They find themselves up 10 and will get ball after half. But we will look to probably jump in technically for this one, more so just because I want to see halftime and see some of the plays happening around the league. But not what we've been looking for here. In a battle of 2, 3, and 5 teams, it has been one-sided. Score given up in each quarter so far for our defense. Offense has yet to move the ball really whatsoever. Playing, obviously, in a different playbook might be the cause of that. Now, we see the Dolphins here on the handoff. A little shake and bake, getting by the DB and into the end zone. That is a close game. Dolphins take it 25-24 and move to 5-4. Now, 2 more teams here under 500. Colts 3-5 with a screen pass to the bottom of the field. That's a tight end screen. Little stiff arm there. Pat Freiermuth with a spin as well to cap it off. It is a 10-7 lead at halftime for the Steelers. Richardson, the starting quarterback for the Colts. Not so much here in real life. And as for the Titans and Chargers, a lot of teams here playing around 500 in the first half. And it's Cam Ward standing at his own 5. Rips that one down to about the 46. And with plenty of speed to carry, it is another lead for the Titans at halftime. 17-6, Cam Ward, already a touchdown in the first half. Now, we would love to see our rookie quarterback find a touchdown here rather soon. Here's the rest of the halftime and finished game updates, but it will be San Francisco ball as we look to get the second half underway here. Whenever Madden lets us get through these screens, this is what I was talking about earlier. It really drags on. Now, obviously, they've put in a halftime, quote-unquote, show here where there is announcing, but this is my video. And I don't let other people announce on my videos, though. If other YouTubers wanted to, we could definitely look into doing that at some point. But to kickstart this second half, we're going to see if our defense can do anything good here for us. They did get an interception there in the first half on a drive that started very similar to this. 2nd and 4 here following the gain of 4 and a 3rd and 2 plus side. Good time to jump in here. Help the defense try to pick up a stop. Now let's mug the front a little bit here and drop back into coverage. Bunch look to the left-hand side here. They played a lot towards the flat. Let's make sure we got our flat guy over there. Though James down the middle, he's got the first down. 12 carries, 32 yards. His runs haven't been really impressive by any means, but frankly, they're getting the job done. That's all you really need. How do we balance realism versus making the rebuild fun? Have you ever had to sacrifice one for the other? I don't really think so. I think the realism part is what makes them more fun, as there was a good tackle at the line of scrimmage there. Because sure, you could go in, you can make some wild trades. It's pretty easy in Madden to draft at least from what I have found in finding those big-time players, even in the lower rounds. In college football, even last year, I mean, we built Stanford into a powerhouse of a team, and recruiting kind of became not a problem, which is why at Kent State I'm trying to put some limiting factors on it, which also makes it more fun and more realistic. So I don't think you really have to sacrifice to get what you're looking for there. As Purdy looks to scramble, Thibodeau, how do you not get that sack? Forces the throwaway. Defense stands inside the 30. For the second time tonight, or today, it's definitely bright outside. Tucker from the right hash. And this one is through. Block came in just a step or two too late. Holland nearly getting there. We will definitely be jumping into the first drive here on offense in the second half. Down, essentially, 2 touchdowns. We got to find something. Shaking up what we do here. Shake and bake. Getting to the outside is Gray to the 37. A great starting position here in the second half. Now, Tyrone Tracy's coming in as the leading receiving running back in the NFL. So we might have to find a way to get that involved here in this playbook. We will, as long as I remember, get the playbook right for the next game. But starting here at the 37, it's going to be play action. And we've got to get this ball out quick. Robinson picking up a gain of 5. Now, we did not get much of any running game going in the first half there as well. So I would like to see a little bit more of that. I do want to see, yeah, we do have the mic there over on Warner. Tracy with space down the middle. That is a first down plus side. Running game has been pretty solid this year here for the Giants. And with 2 solid running backs, that is what we're here for. And 4 young quarterbacks as well, it's something they could definitely rely on. Here at the 45, it's a shotgun look for Dart, 2 to left, 1 to the right. They hand this one off. Tracy, he breaks 1, and he's got 4. On first down, that's about all you need. Good start to the fresh possession. With 2 to the left-hand side, 1 to the right. Dart has struggled today, though, has an open target across the middle. Johnson shouldered down, but this time he holds on. The Giants will look to go hurry up. They've been a second-half team this year. They're going to need that here, down 13-0. Quick throw outside, that's Johnson back again, and he will dip out with the first down just inside the 20. Almost like that zone, though. I'm feeling we go with a draw here. Haven't ran it yet. Get a little short motion out there as well. That should be Johnson motioning out. Might draw the safety out a little bit more here. 24 might be slot corner. Indeed it does. Just try to open things up a little bit for Cam Scattaboo down the middle. 4 yards there. Look more like 5 to me. Tracy carrying. Tracy has done a fantastic job this season. I'm not going to lie. When I started this series, I had no idea who Tracy was. I didn't watch a lot of Giants football last year, or much of anyone outside of Minnesota. So, no idea, but he's been very much a pleasant surprise here as we get some good blocks there. But what's the tackle through the blocks today? 1 yard gain. Now I think we need to find ourselves some mesh concepts here. Mesh concepts, we all know Coach Bearington loves that. Stanford Cardinal, that is where they live or die, was the mesh concepts. We need 5 yards here as they look to bring that blitz. It's across the middle. Robinson tries 2 spins. It is enough for the first down. 2 brings him down. And it's hurry up here inside the 9. They'll get that ball snapped. Down the middle again goes Tracy, falling forward. We're about out of time here in the third. Might be the final play of the quarter. It's gone quick here, and that's pretty typical in these college games. Flip this one out, and what a play! 37 and a surprise timeout. Coach Bearington with a second to spare. He feels like he needs that full fourth quarter. Make something happen, but he wants to do it with some points on the board. Let's change up things here. Wants a stick concept. Do we got anything from shotgun? We do. We're going to run that. Bring out Bellinger here, right side. Robinson over to the right-hand side. Actually, give me that zig. Neighbors, I want you on an in route here. I misclicked apparently. Zig on the outside. There we go. Play clock is down to 5. Dart has them set up. Passes outside. Robinson with the catch, but he cannot turn up. And hopefully we're not going to miss out on the fact that we only have 2 timeouts as we head to the 4th quarter. Perhaps getting a little bit greedy there could end up being costly. But the offense is moving, and that's a good sign. But it's 4th down here as we get the 4th quarter underway, and you know this offense is staying on the field. We need that touchdown. It's a pistol look here. Jackson Dart with a hard count and try to get the free play. They're snapping it. But we will take the half the distance, take it from about the 1.5. Michael Williams giving up that penalty. We'll change up the look here as well. Now Robinson again here I want on that zig. Mostly because the left linebacker here, I would have him on a quick stop, but that linebacker might cover well. And indeed, that's what he does. Tried to squeeze it behind. Jackson Dart throws the pick, but returned to about the 1-yard line. Quandre Diggs, a great play mixed with a bad play. I'm sure that's not going to help out some of the fans over here who are thinking that Dart might not be the guy. Defense is going to have to step up for us as 49ers take the field about at their own 1-yard line. Frankly, I think we need to get a bit aggressive here. They got some speed on the outside, but we've got some big boys down the middle as they go with the stretch and look to get outside just enough on that block. And that is a little bit of breathing room and a massive play for the 49ers. Now, I did mention earlier we are playing this on the new slider set, and I'm definitely noticing a little bit of some difference here. Quick blitz, McFadden with the sack. He goes through untouched. Could have used that last play. I guess we'll take the backup at any point here to the 11. We need a bit more pass rush. Abdul Carter has slowed down a little bit. He was playing pretty hot the last couple weeks. Empty set now as James motions out to the right-hand side here. Purdy has got pretty good amount of time, and it's Kittle shaking the tackle of Nubin. Eric Kendricks sprinting over and forcing him out at the opposite 23. 49ers flip the field. And we will definitely be changing that playbook next time, Derek. Yeah. Offense playing rough, not in their actual scheme here. Handoff down the middle goes nowhere. Good stuff that time. We're about a good defense every other play is what we've seen this year. 49ers, they're down to the 22. Obviously, we're playing a lot more here in the 4th half, more than I probably would typically, but that's because it's been a close game. As Pearsall with the drag picks up 5. As we're approaching 5 minutes left here in this game. One more snap should put us inside that mark. The bunch look to the right-hand side. James in the backfield next to Purdy, who rolls to the right-hand side. He looks to scramble. Abdul and 3 others there to bring him down, but not prior to the line to gain. Overall, the defense playing a little bit different here as well. Just kind of playing flat is what we've seen so far in this one. Toss outside. There's the play, McFadden. 2 plays in the backfield. You stack those on to last game, and he might have had his breakout chance completed. Hey, any given Sunday, things can happen. And we need something to happen here in the 4th. Definitely want to avoid a shutout. As Purdy throws this one away. We try that, we get penalized. Not sure what that's all about. But now, with the slider set, it does turn off intentional grounding, so maybe we won't get called for that. Either way, it's 3rd and 16 here as they throw out to the left. James stacked down at the 8. Once again, this defense forces a field goal. This time from the left hash. Tucker has already hit 2 from the right. This one would make it a 3-score game, or unless you go for 2. But honestly, we haven't found a single point today, let alone finding 2 touchdowns with 2 two-point conversions. And with just over 3.5 minutes, we'll see if Coach Boston, wow, that's a throwback, Coach Bearington can get something done. Scattaboo looking to return this one. And again, it's some solid field position, 28. But we have not looked good on offense here against the 49ers. They've got talent on every level of this defense, and so far Dart has struggled to manage that. As they start in shotgun here, throwing backside, that's going to be Booty. It might be his first catch of the season to the 40. And it will be hurry up here for the rest of the way. Safety walks down right-hand side. Dart making an adjustment here for it. As Tracy goes out on that route. Open target to the outside is Johnson, who secures the grab and dips out of bounds. For us, that will stop the clock with 3:07 to go here. We really need that end zone. We need a pop play here. We've been good at finding some of those late. Rolling to the outside here. Dart will look to run this one out of bounds with a first down. The passing has not worked. Perhaps his legs just might do here enough. But Tracy motioning out, make this an empty set. And downfield safety lurking. Booty forgot to go up to try to get it. Good news, it hits the turf. And we've had just 62 yards today. Passing, that's rough. Definitely not having the normal playbook is hurting this offense right now. That's what we're going to say. We try to change up the scheme. Has not worked. Cam Scattaboo, though, out in space as he takes it right behind his blockers to the 34. They will go hurry up. The fresh set of downs. Changing up the receivers here. Robinson, a little bit late to hear the play call. About 2.5 minutes to go. Throw is outside, through the hands of Johnson. He definitely has struggled in contested catches this year. That is for sure. The size, the speed, it's great. But it doesn't matter if you can't hold on to a pass. Across the middle, you got Tracy catching up to that one and weaving his way down inside the 10. We don't need to celebrate here. We need to get back to the ball. Thank you. What are we, Chase Claypool? That's a throwback now, honestly. It's been years. Trying to find the end zone. Pressure collapsing around him, and he gets rid of it. Now that is one thing to know. No penalty that time. So we really will take that. With 2:14 here. I would love a touchdown and a 2-point conversion before the 2-minute warning. Send Hyatt on the slant here. Johnson almost on a little bit of a Texas route himself. Pressure immediately down the middle. Dart, though, gets rid of it, apparently outside the tackle box. 49er fans, though, don't agree. Now, obviously, this is 4-down territory for us. We need these touchdowns, and we need them as quickly as we can find them. Let's actually send Johnson instead on a post here. Try to create a little bit of separation for Newman on the outside. Played well. Hilton. All right, then. We got another 4th and goal. Game on the lines this play. And the surrender Cobra knows it. Trying to break the goose egg. And I don't like Booty's route here, so let's try to get a stop at the goal line. Going his way, passes high, but that is a touchdown. And the trade, not even trade, That is a practice squad signing. Helps us out here. We get on the board as Slayton's replacement finds the end zone 2 games after he was traded away. But our work today is nowhere close to done. Celebrate the 6, but we need 10 more points. Let's make sure we get back out onto that field right here and find 2 of them. Giving us a chance here, and we got the touchdown prior to the 2-minute warning. Hard count. Again, try to snap that before they jumped. I was looking for a free play just in case we didn't get it. But on 2-point tries, you don't move at all. Even if they jump offside, you stay at the 2. Let's back up off the line a little bit here. Try to help us out. Want a flat release. We got a flat release here? Send him on a wheel. Then Johnson all the way outside. See if that helps us out here or not. Having to make do with the situation. Dart bounces outside, and we've got the 2. Just like that, we half the deficit here with 2:02 to go. And we talked about the issue of calling that timeout in the 3rd. We could really use with 3 here. In that instance, I need this kick out of the back of the end zone. I do not want them to run any time off this clock. We need that 2-minute warning. And Gano comes through almost with a field goal from the kickoff line. So with 2:02 to go, we did just enough to save that timeout. Now we just got to come through on defense. Give our offense an opportunity to send this game into overtime. I would not put it against the 49ers to also try a pass here. They hand it off. It's James down the middle. He picks up a couple. The 2-minute warning hits there. The last free stoppage of time here for the Giants. They do mark it a gain of 3. Lawrence, we haven't seen much from you today. Now would be a great time to show up as they pop up for a pass. Throw is outside, and Kyle Juszczyk will end this game. We'll have to let the clock run here on play 1. We get the stop. We might be able to make something happen with the 2 timeouts, but it is going to be difficult. Alexander with a quick TFL there. Call a timeout. Even if we do get a chance at getting that ball back, it'll be with 10 some odd seconds. And even then, I'm not even sure we would get the 10 seconds. 3 receiver set here for the 49ers. They motion over, and it's going to be Ayuk to officially end the game. And on top of that, 49ers say no, it will be a 2-score game. Both the defense and the offense came in this one just completely flat-footed. Wish we could say otherwise, but they did not come prepared here. And our chance to get back to 500 in today's live stream / episode, if you're watching later, it's not going to happen. And the Bears are already above 500. Now, we will have 1:06 here just to try to reclaim a little bit of some confidence. With 1 timeout to spare, Cam Scattaboo will have to return this. Check, check. There we go. Okay. We're back. Not sure what that was about. Nothing was clicked, but I guess the mic decided not to work. Good thing this is a live stream and you guys could let me know. Hopefully that wasn't off for too long. But hey, what is Madden here without some shenanigans? But we appear to be back. Let me know in the comments. Leave a thumbs up or let me know in the comments if you can hear things now. We got about 38 seconds to go here, and we get that screen off just in time. It's Tracy with limited blocks in front of him. That does still have us with one timeout. 49ers sitting back here deep. And we've got our guy down the middle. That is Robinson, and we'll call that final timeout there at the 29. All right. Derek saying you can't hear things now. Not sure what that was about. I know this mic has started to be a little bit iffy of late. It has been kind of cutting off some words, starting recording a little bit late, so cutting off the front and the back. So who knows? We might be about needing a new mic. And once again, Robinson over the middle. As we are running out of time here, we got to get back to it rather quickly. 15 seconds and counting, sending everyone over to the left-hand side. Booty, no, we need you on the drag. Wasting precious time here is Dart. As they will go to Booty, he drops it. We'll take that. He would not have found the end zone. So with 2 seconds to go, we've got one final shot at the end zone. Because of that, I want the drag here to try to suck down those linebackers and see if we can find Robinson over the top of them. No, coverage sits well. It's going to be Dart needing a block on the outside, but he can't squeeze by. And triple digits hits. 49ers take the game. It was looking like their game the whole way, so no surprise here at the end. Giants tried to attempt the comeback. Offense found the touchdown there late, found the 2-point conversion. But the defense could not stop the 49ers there late. Brandon Ayuk with the answer. And they weren't able to find any garbage time points there either. So a bit rough here for us in game one. I'm going to chalk some of that up, the offense at least, due to the fact we weren't rocking our actual playbook. But Brock Purdy was on fire out there. 20 of 25, all of his receivers were wide open. Not sure if that is due to the sliders that we installed, and I'll go over those sliders in between these games. One thing the defense did do well is limiting the running here. Jordan James, wow. Starting from the top there. Jordan James averaged 2.4 yards a carry. No touchdowns. On 17 carries, he had 41 yards. We did slightly better, but just slightly. And Scattaboo really only had one play of which he had an effect on offense. Kittle was unguardable. We couldn't tackle. Our coverage was bad. And Bobby Okereke, who's played very well for us over on the defensive side, really didn't seem to have a huge factor in this game, despite the fact that he did actually lead us in tackles. So that was a worrying game here as we drift further from 500. We'll head to the post game and then look to get towards that Bears game as well. And Thibodeau gets a boost. That is good because we need it. He had one shot at a sack and came up short of it. So let's work on that power rusher. He and Carter, I think, need to switch sides. So we're going to try that here in game 2. And apologize if you hear the water bottle here. But no update coming off that game, so we'll move on then to week 10. And that's where we'll look to make that change. And I guess while we are doing that, why don't we, as long as I get this set up here, bring my face back into action. Just have something to stare at as we go through these. Now, good news is nothing regresses. We are close to finding an upgrade to that Ground Guardians if the running game can produce, and I think we need to get back to that here in the next game. I think the running game should be where we start off and then filter in the rest. Now, for Chicago, they drop out of second in the North. So they're back to 500, but we are 3-6 with the second worst record in the NFC. Only one game above the Panthers, and that's not really a good thing. The NFC West, though, is anyone's race right now. San Francisco just a few games behind LA, but it's still pretty close. Green Bay and Detroit also pretty close. Dallas, technically 3 games, but they have the advantage, so 3.5 games. But we're going to make that change here. So having to remember which one actually lets you go to adjusting the roster. I don't know why that was something they changed. It was honestly an unnecessary change. But we're going to switch our edge rushers here because Carter isn't a scheme fit because he is more of a speed rusher. And Thibodeau's not a fit because he's a power rusher rather than a speed rusher. So if we just switch them, maybe we'll see those two start to produce a little bit more here for us. We'll have to make sure that we go through and update the depth chart. Make sure it didn't mess with anything else because in previous Maddens, it would definitely mess with your depth chart. One thing to note, at least so far here, is we are seeing increased speed between menus, which was part of the update. And got another speed rusher over here? Chauncey Golston? More of a run stopper. Not very much a speed rusher, but I don't like just having one guy out of position. So we're going to move him over to the right side as well. Now, he was someone that the Giants spent a bunch of money on and shouldn't have. As a backup, he's making a bunch of money, about $12 million, most of which is a penalty if we look to cut him, which is why we went through that rabbit hole the other episode. Now that we got that fixed, again, let's just go through the depth chart, make sure we are all cleaned up. Which current player do you secretly want on here? With the way we are currently building this team right now, I would think that we could use with a really strong second tight end. I do love tight ends. I think Neighbors and Robinson could be a strong 1-2 punch, but I haven't seen Bellinger do much when we actually choose the correct playbook. I was so focused on having the ability to see uniforms and change them that kind of messed that part up. But I think a really good tight end would be a fit. And I'm a big fan of Dawson Knox. That's why we added him in the previous franchise as well. Even though it was just for a year, I think he's a really solid tight end. So he could be a good add. But I'm trying to think of guys who would be expendable for other teams. We might need an upgrade at corner. Offensive line needs some work. We did a little bit of that work. Now, whether that is main guys for the future, we'll find out. Is Illuminor healthy now? He is. All right, so we're going to plug him back into the starting lineup here. And that has Parham over on the left-hand side. Illuminor coming in at the right, so that's good. Our offensive line is going to get a little bit of a boost as we head into the Bears game. And it looks like it kept things where it should be, so that is almost good. Thibodeau, no. Golston moves up. Dimukeji behind. Yeah, okay, so things are looking pretty good here. I am going to make the official switch here and put Sanders in as the starter. Kendricks could be the primary backup for us, because I want Sanders to start developing. He's shown good signs out there. Both he and McFadden have had some splash plays. But I do think we need potentially another corner. We've got some decent speed out there. What we're lacking is that second press guy. Now, Phillips is young. He could develop into that. We did bring in Asante Samuel Jr. to kind of be that slot guy, and he's played okay. But I've also seen Banks out there a good bit, and I'm not sure why. Because he shouldn't be our slot starter, again, unless Madden changed things, which in the past it definitely has. But I'll tell you what, it's not a current player. To answer your question, Derek, on who I would secretly want, But I would love to find another DT next to Dexter Lawrence who's like a Vince Wilfork. I've been looking for a guy like that for years, and I've never really found him. Just a big old dude down the middle who can do it all. I loved watching Vince Wilfork, even though he was a Patriot. And it was hard being a fan of the Patriots when I used to be a Giants fan when I started watching NFL games when I was really young. I'd say really young. I was probably around 9, maybe 10 years old. Now, we do want Thibodeau on this side. Golson, Dimukeji. And then Carter on this side with Golson and Dimukeji. Good down the middle there. Looking good there. And yeah, the slot corner was Asante Samuel Jr., so I don't know why we're seeing so much of Banks. Because his coverage is nowhere near as good as Samuel, but he would be a better outside corner in terms of that press. And don't forget to change the play. Yeah, that's the first thing I'm going to do when we look to jump into the game, is we are going to make sure we have our 2-back playbook. Because that offense was not running well in the actual Giants scheme, and we need to perform well here against the Bears. We've kind of traded back and forth with some wins and losses. Obviously, more losses. See what the Bears have done this year. They lost their opening 3 games, including one to the Cowboys, 8-7, with a safety being the only point scored until the 4th quarter. 2 field goals. So they didn't score a single touchdown, and Dallas won that game. That is a Bears loss. Sorry for any Bears fans watching this, but yeah, that one is rough. But then after that, that sparked some anger in them because they ripped off 4 straight wins, all of which were 1-score games. 3 points, not exactly 1-score game here. Actually, yes, 6 points, 3 points, and 3 points. So they're not winning by dramatic fashion. They lost to the Bengals by 6 points, and that was in overtime. So the Bears are playing well right now. They just didn't start the year off very well. In terms of who they have and what they're doing, they've got Caleb Williams. Good start to the year here. 16 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 67%. Derek here coming in with a skull. Yeah, Skull Vikings. You could probably see in the background here, make sure, right there. That's an Adrian Peterson jersey. Had that for a while. Also have one that is made for myself that has my name and my football number on it. That's also Minnesota Vikings. Andre Swift here averaging just under 4 yards a carry. Same with Williams. 2 rushing touchdowns. He's had a fair amount of scrambles. Chubb, he's been their better running back in terms of average yards, though no touchdowns for him. Instead, they've gone to Roschon Johnson. Interesting. So they've got 3 running backs that are getting in the mix, but it is mostly Swift, and Swift can get the job done both running and receiving. DJ Moore, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Burden, the rookie out of Missouri, 321 and 6 touchdowns. Clement, solid tight end out of Notre Dame, just shy of 260, 3 touchdowns. Odunze, not having a dominant year, 251 touchdown. And Swift and Chubb getting a couple receptions in there, a couple touchdowns mixed in. Not much for the backup tight ends. And Colston Loveland, only 4 catches so far as the rookie. What is his ratings? He's a hidden dev, 76 overall at 6'6", 248. Not the best run blocker. Solid speed. Good catching. What is his catch in traffic? Is an 80 versus 83. One thing I want to check here is with Johnson. Before we jump into the game, I do want to check that with Johnson, because he is dropping so many passes. And currently, he is our 2nd leading receiver in terms of yards, most receiving touchdowns, 3rd in receptions. And that would be a lot higher if he would hold on to the pass. He has 84 catch in traffic. I expect a little bit more. Honestly, Theo Johnson looks to be the better of those 2. Obviously, he's a year into his career, so Loveland a year in might have those better ratings. What's your go-to game snack when you stream? For me, I always dim my lights to the color of the team, so blue, and I'll always eat pizza for some reason. You know, pizza's not too bad when I stream or when I'm watching someone stream. Because when I stream, which I haven't done all too often, I think this is our 4th, maybe 5th stream we've done. I'll at most fill up the big old water bottle here, about the size of my head, and I fill it with Gatorade. That's about all I have here when streaming, even when I am recording as well. Sometimes I don't even bring in any water, and that's definitely something I shouldn't do. But let's start to focus in here on the Bears. And I would love to establish the run here in this game. So what can we do to help us with that, if anything? Really not much of anything, actually. So we're going to throw a lot of passes short. So instead, we're going to have this sure hands. That might help out Johnson. And the line has been rather inconsistent. So how about let's go +4 throw on the run for all quarterbacks. Defensive-wise, I have a feeling we're going to need help in coverage. I don't know. Williams will probably scramble around a good bit. But I'm not going to focus in on that. We could focus on pursuit, play recognition, tackle, block, shedding for the linebackers. Pursuit for edge and DT. Disengage on run blocks on the outside. I don't imagine they're going to do too much outside plays. What's new, Derek? This screen? Did you? Yeah. In franchise, this is new. If this is what we're talking about. I don't know how much I like it, to be honest. I kind of like getting through this a little bit quicker and getting into the game action. As for the defense, though, I'm not exactly seeing what I would want. So we are just going to stick then with a boost to the linebackers. Yeah, so this is the new screen that kind of takes over the schemes for the week. So before you could choose to focus on inside running, outside running, short pass, medium, or deep pass. This is their new way of doing it, which I have mixed feelings about. I think some of these boosts, if you could get the upgrades and keep them, is really nice. But it just is a lot more than what I particularly want to do. And again, we lost our playbook. I wonder if it downgrades too much if you lose that play sheet. That might have been what happened. Because I think it was interceptions, and we all know Dart has had his fair share. So we're not an air raid by any means. And frankly, we haven't gotten to the red zone all too well either. We are about to lose that play sheet as well. We don't run wide, so we are really left here with a 2-minute. And we'll stick with that 4-2-5 because that's basically what every NFL team is going to be running in modern day football. Just got to get used to it and switch over to it. Again, we'll try to make sure that we are keeping our guys as healthy as possible, so less wear and tear during games and less practice injuries. We'll confirm that loadout. Check out our guys. How are we doing? Are we healthy? Yeah, we're healthy, so you're practicing. Everyone else looks good there. Defensive side, everyone seems to be fine. We'll look good there. We'll look to get through the training and hopefully no big injuries this week. As we are closer to getting on into this game, if you guys are enjoying the stream, let me know by leaving a thumbs up on the stream here. Wear and tear looking pretty healthy, which is always good. Any injuries? Gilmore, again, I don't even know where you're coming from because you're not on this team as far as I'm aware of. Might have been added to the practice squad as mentioned. Now, the practice squad people are getting beaten up, so our starters are laying them out in practice, which I guess is a good thing. Check the offensive side real quick. Make sure we're not missing anybody. No, we seem to be pretty good yet again heading into our next game. And we will make sure we get our actual playbook for it. Couple upgrades to do beforehand. He's assuming a couple, yes. Malik Neighbors. What I really need for him is to just boost that release. The route running, the hands, it's in a good spot. But if he can't get off the line, we're not going to get anything. So for that, deep threat has some release. Physical has some, but it's the second. We're going to rock with the deep threat here for Malik Neighbors. And we get 2 for the release, route running and catching, deep route running, and jumping plus spec catch also see a boost. He is a star, something we have not shown in the episodes here. Sorry, just checking a couple things off on the side here. His attributes, mid and elite, so that is something to keep note of. And mid out elite, so the in and outs is where he's going to be really good at, and some rack. That's exactly what we want from him, so it all fits in pretty well for me. All right. Asking about dinner. I have to give my opinion. Now, Victor Dimukeji. I know he's another guy we're probably not going to end up keeping around, so I don't really care exactly how he gets upgraded. Really trying to focus in on our guys. What's the hardest part about being a YouTuber people don't see? I mean, everyone has their own difficulties. Is fun to say, though, YouTuber, because technically, as a partner, I could officially say am a YouTuber, but anyone who puts in significant effort into their work, you take that name. For me, the biggest thing is just dealing with, for my level where the channel is, I produce a lot of content and I do it regularly. That's something I'm very proud of. It has been difficult at times, as we will auto upgrade these, to keep with that schedule. I've never missed a day. We've changed the schedule, but I always have that done in advance of if things are changing in real life. And real life, I think, is the biggest, the hardest part is keeping that balance of working and doing this. For me, I work in sports. I work in several different sports leagues, and working those plus this, it's a hectic schedule. I'm normally doing something every day, whether it's for this channel or for one of the teams I work for. But that's probably the hardest part for me in this. Everything else, the announcing, the editing, all that, I've been doing that for, let's see, 2025, for almost 10 years. I've been doing certain sports media, varying in different kinds. But so that to me is all, you know, like first nature at this point. But I'll take my face off of here as we are ready to get into game 2, our final game of the episode. Now, the Bears, they are not top in anything. But because of how bad that last game went, we also dropped out of some of our top spots. We're still top 10 in passing yards somehow, some way. But we've got to fix the pass defense, 31st ranked. Meanwhile, the Bears, you could say, are just the most average team in the NFL. If you can't beat average, you can't be good. So let's head to Chicago with our actual playbook. And I appreciate the comment there, Derek. Even though the numbers don't always show it, you built a loyal community here. Yeah, and I can always tell, too, whenever a video gets posted and immediately there are likes and people watching, I know exactly those that are coming from, because they're the same people that comment more regularly and get involved here on the channel. And there we go. 2 backs, we will have our actual offense. If you guys did wonder, I do use the San Francisco defense as well. But I do appreciate everyone who does watch these videos. You know, a lot of work goes into them. Do that partially for my own sanity and fun. And see here again, Madden is still broken. They're just going to rock with our homes. We're going to rock with our aways. But like I said, I do appreciate everyone who regularly is here watching these. I appreciate all the input you guys give on the channel. And I will be asking for input shortly, again, as mentioned earlier, with the new MLB series. I'm going to give that a couple weeks, see how the interaction is, and if it's not quite with what I'm looking for, we might change some things up there. But it's time to focus in here on Chicago. as we are back on the road. And arguably, I feel like we've played better on the road this year. The Giants, we need a win. Bears, they're trying to find their way back above 500, and I would love to be the ones to send them back under 500. And yet again, we will be starting off with the ball. Ham Scattaboo, our return man, as we are underway. Catching that one inside the 10 and taking this one right up the seam and stop there at the 30. Will be the offense headed out. Jackson Dart. A rough rookie year, close to a 1-to-1 ratio with a touchdown to interception, but back to a more comfortable offense. And with Jermaine Illuminor back into the starting lineup, hopefully we'll see things continue to improve here. As Tracy looks to cut that one left, he gets stuck behind the block. Picks it up. Picks it up? Picks up two. Present tense. Now, Derek, what you looking for here in terms of shout-out? I feel like I've been talking to you all day here. At the 33, second down. Looking for that quick flip, but the pressure is even quicker. The 3rd and 8. What I want to go for here is a screen pass. Make sure we're back in shotgun. Now, I do like this screen pass setup here with a split backfield. Get Tracy motioning over to one side to try to clear out as many guys as possible. See if we can leak out Scattaboo. With that pressure coming in, it is out to Cam. He's got blockers in front. A big block comes in. Tittman, the new starting center, and we're down to the opposite 36-yard line. A big answer there on 3rd. An I formation here with Tracy dotting the I. They go for the stretch. Not much room. Might have been to the line a little bit too quickly there. We'll keep with the heavy sets here. Fiden played very well our last time out here. Wide open is Jordan as they send the blitz, but Dart, that pass is about 10 yards behind. Seen that a lot from him today. And another 3rd down. Got 2 out to the left-hand side, Booty to the right with a split backfield. Ham wide open on the outside, and Dart misses another throw. He's not helping himself out here. Kind of bringing a little bit of college football action where all the quarterbacks throw high. But Gano coming out here to try to get us on the board. Drive 1. And he'll drive that one through for 3. We get on the board here. Possession 1 of the game against the Bears. And hopefully that is just one of more to come. Hopefully the defense decides to come out with a little bit of some attitude this game. The Bears will catch that one inside the 5 with a return. Devin Duvernay not going to get too far. The 24 will be where the Bears start their first drive. Caleb Williams, an impressive sophomore campaign here so far. At least in terms of that touchdown to interception total, keeping things clean. Any offense that keeps things clean has a chance to win some games. As they start with Chubb in the backfield. 3-step drop here and looking outside. Paulson Adebo reacts late. And honestly has to feel pretty lucky that ball hit the turf. I believe that one intended for the rookie out of Missouri. 2nd and 10 of the 24 as they look to set up their own screen. To the outside, and Phillips missed, trucking through McFadden. Actually, check that, Sanders makes it a 3rd and 3. I feel like we need to bring some pressure here on Caleb Williams. He has struggled when under pressure, at least in real life. The 31, bringing that quick blitz. It is out even quicker. Chubb down the left sideline. Samuel finally drags him out. We'll say the quarterbacks here in Madden are playing very smart when it comes to pressure. That pass, it's coming out quickly. As Caleb throws, played well. Sanders drifting back into coverage. Might have been a little bump there early. While penalties necessarily haven't gone in our favor this year, that one will get bailed out on. Quick flip outside. Bouncing off of a couple tackles. Bobby Okereke brings him down. It's another 3rd and short. 2 yards needed here for the Bears, and it's an empty set. Trips to the left-hand side. Actually make that 4 to the left-hand side. As the Giants bring the blitz and get the sack. Bobby Okereke dragging him down. Not sure why the cameraman is focused here on Thibodeau. He was not involved. Holland got there first and pushing him back to the 42. It'll either be a long field goal attempt. Actually, I take that back. It was Thibodeau. I apologize for the disrespect. Definitely could have sworn I saw 8 out there, but it does knock him out of field goal range. So we have a chance to find ourselves going up 2 scores with a strong drive. Ended up stalling out last time. And we'll stick out here with the offense. Now, despite how poor that last game went in the passing game, Tracy does still lead the league for running backs in receptions. And he's right down the middle with blocking. Neighbors downfield. A gash of a run. Nearly went to the hole. Went to the hole? It obviously went to the hole. Nearly went the distance. And that is where typically I would restart from a good break and just cut it in. Told you we're going to get a little bit of some background information in this one. As Dart will just step up here, but can't step up enough. Shaquille Barrett finds his way through at least a double team. Might have even been triple team. We're going to change up the playbook here, or play call. Quick flip this one outside. Great release, though. Trading off in coverage. And there's going to be very little gained on that one. With a 3rd and 10, might look for Tracy on the wheel route here. With 2 down in the backfield. Or the drag instead. That's Johnson, the big old tight end with wheels of his own. He bounces off and he's got the first. If he could just catch his groove, he could be a really good player. He just has struggled to catch the ball. Scattaboo smacked around. I think that was Edmonds. Gain of 1. Honestly, I do feel really bad for Scattaboo. He has not gotten the same blocking that Tracy has. Not sure why that's the case, but I feel like that is typically the case. With a lofted pass outside that is nearly picked off. You wonder why Dart is one of the leading interception throwers this year. That would be why. I think that was supposed to be a pump fake. The 3rd and 9. They throw underneath. That is Johnson. Short by 2 yards. 4th and 2 at the 30. You got to wonder here with Coach Bearington. I think we all know what's going to happen here. Really no wondering. He's an aggressive coach in short down situations, and that's what we've got here. So Dart in the backfield, it's spread empty. No hard count, he just purely snaps that ball. Looks to get outside, he's got open field and will slide, just kidding, dive down at the 15. Apparently we needed that extra yard there. I will take it, not going to argue with that, because sometimes they're really complaining about the lack of yards we're getting here, as obviously we only get 1 there. Now, I would love to get a little bit more going with Neighbors. Said that he is really good on those in and outs, so let's see if we could hook up with him on one of those in or outs. At the start of the second quarter, as the first quarter has come to a close here in Chicago, Giants, they are up here 3-0. They've driven down the field, but they have struggled to cap off drives. As we start, it's 2nd and 9 at the 15. High formation for the Giants. 2 receivers to the left. And open underneath, that will be Neighbors. Smack down Edmonds. And an injury to Billingsley, one of the big old guys smack dab down the middle of this Chicago defense. And I think what that means is we need to run right where he left. So 3rd and 2. They've got some skinny boys down the middle. Make sure we get a good double to backer here, like the look. Scattaboo, the running back, as he finds a gap, and he's got just enough for the first down. At the 4 goes number 44. Now, give me a draw here from a heavier set. With 1st and goal. Bears do stack the middle. Dart checks the sideline, and we see a play call change. Snaps that ball. Drifts to the right-hand side. He's got a receiver breaking open, and again he throws behind. Put the ball out in space. And we probably have had 2-3 more wins. But he just throws it behind. Scattaboo fights forward. But loses one. With yet another 3rd and goal. Struggling to finish drives. You've got a bunch to the left-hand side. Tight end on the right side of the line. You need 5 yards to get to that end zone. And it's Johnson just breaking away from the safety. The touchdown leader here for the New York Giants tacks on another and tacks a touchdown onto this game. Widening the lead for the G-Men. They go up 10-0. On the Chicago Bears in Chicago. And this is where I would love the opportunity to skip. But I guess I can't complain, because one thing I do complain about in college football is the lack of post-play full screen, which is why those videos are a little bit more quick back to the line than in Madden, and a lot more pre-play action than in Madden. But a 10-0 lead here, as I think now we feel a bit more comfortable to start to jump forward a little bit here. We didn't do too much of that in the last game, so I'll look to introduce that, especially when we are up to scores. Now Burden gets the grab here, that rookie. In a 6 for Nick Chubb. And a 2nd and 3. They give up 8. Adunze, first down plus side, get inside the 30. We will jump in. Or perhaps with a 3rd and 2. At the 36. Now they look to be coming out in a heavier set here. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. We will match with our 46 defense. Holland down at the line as well. Early movement, though, back on side. Bobby Okereke shoots the gap, but Chubb reads it. He bounces outside and gashes the defense inside the 20. He's at 5 rushes, around 36 yards, and now we see Swift hit the field. Haven't seen him out there all too much. They go his way, and he's by Bobby. 1 to beat. And Newbin with a touchdown-saving play. Bangy, how's it going? Hello to you, too. It's a fun name. Kind of gives the same vibes as Cha-Cha Vaz. But inside the 10 here, Chicago. Chubb looks to get outside, and Abdul Carter could not contain. Bears down 10, march down the field and find an answer. Heavy through Nick Chubb and make this game 10-7. I don't know what's going to come at some point, though. Now, I've noticed in Madden and college football, have you guys noticed this as well? That the innermost rusher on the field goals have had better success as getting pressure? Hey, no problem laughing. If a joke is funny, why not? I think a lot of people could use with a little bit more laughing. Though if you don't appreciate it, we're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you. Gray to the 32. Now with 3 minutes here, we will stick out here with the offense. Try to control the rest of this half. We've got off coverage on the outside. A lot of people have played off on Neighbors. I've really wanted to see if we could get him on some deep routes, but it just really has not opened up. As that ball gets popped up, Dart, I would really appreciate if your throwaways didn't go straight up in the air. All right, here at the 32, and Tracy looks to get outside. He bounces off of one, but that's going to lose even more. Tremaine Edmonds had him blocked up the whole way. Now we are sitting. Good call here, Madden. It's exactly what I was thinking. 3rd and 14, back at the 27. We've got one of my favorite screen passes here dialed up. We'll go out to it. Tracy on the right-hand side. With 3 in front, we'll fight forward, and it's 4th and 2. That is Coach Bearington downs. Bears might be celebrating, and hopefully that has their heads not in the game here because the offense is going right back out on that field. That's the play I'm looking for. Mesh concepts here with a weak eye with a 2-minute warning. Let our players recuperate. That does give the Bears time to recuperate as well. No, Madden, we are going for it. I know it's risky, but that is just what we do around here. When your team is in a rough spot, sometimes you've got to risk it for the biscuit, as they say. At the 39, hard count and give me that free first down. Encroachment on the outside. That's on Montez Sweat as well. Neutral zone infraction, they label it as. I feel like that is, I guess he did draw someone off, so it does fit. But with 2 minutes to go here, we're at the 44, still on our side. I formation here for Dart. But play action, he looks to get outside here. And airmails another pass. Would love for him to clean that up. I think if he could clean up some of his accuracies, I don't know if it's more throw under the pressure that's the problem or if it's throw on the run because the ratings aren't too awful for it. And Tracy, maybe go where the ball is thrown too. This is the problem with the New York Giants. They are close, again, teetering, but not quite there yet. Yeah, Jackson is not having his best couple episodes. A 3rd and 10 here. To bring out the backs. Scattaboo with a couple lead blockers. Has just enough for that first down. We have been a 3rd down specialist team majority of this year. We don't always convert on them, which is why we are 3 and 6. Going to Scattaboo here. Edmonds has just been a monster at Mike linebacker for Chicago in this one. He is locking down play after play. Let's hurry up, though, for Dart. As the pressure builds, he flips those hips, and we're going to say airmails Tracy, so no intentional grounding. With a minute 20 to go here in the first half, it's I formation on a 3rd and 9. I formation for the Giants as they do look to pass the ball. Ripping it to Neighbors. He catches it and gets down immediately. We're not going to worry about any drops on that one. Hurry up. Right back to it. Same formation for either side. Ripping it again outside. Too far outside for Neighbors. Though Dexter, another guy down the middle here, injured for Chicago. Now, Bengi, let's be nice here. Sometimes people type a little bit too quick. Happens. Second and 10. 1 minute and 4 seconds. I was looking at the one there. Pressure down the middle. And Dart will try to find the edge, but the flow from the big fella is clean. Not going to help find the edge there. The 37, 57 seconds to go, and it's 3rd and 14. Throwing underneath, that is Johnson. He's got a little bit more, and a timeout called here by Chicago with a 4th and 7. They're trying to save some time for their own offense to respond. And this time, Coach Bearington will send out the special teams unit. Field goal attempt here for Graham Gano. And he's got it. We'll extend that lead up 6 points here, but with time to spare here for Chicago to try to answer. They're coming off a strong offensive drive. All right, Bangy, we're being a little rude out here, so we're going to go in a little bit of a timeout. Give you a one minute timeout. Head to the box. And Chicago with 45 seconds here at the 25-yard line. Come out with trips. Williams flips the hips. He throws outside, and 2 Chicago receivers run into each other to break up the pass. Giants don't have to do anything on that one. Oh, that will count as a stoppage of time, though, for Chicago. Let them catch their breath for the quick hitter. It's Cole Kmet picking up 7. Second timeout called. They've got 37 seconds to work with and one last timeout to try to get at least into field goal range. Dexter Lawrence, though, jumps early. Will be a free play, of which they go with the dump off across the middle. They'll probably decline that penalty on 3rd and 3. Now, we've been rocking a lot of zone. Let's try to sprinkle in a little bit of some man here. See if that helps out the coverage a little bit. I know Sanders very much a really solid man cover linebacker. Really good play from Kmet. He took Thibodeau out of the play and then got downfield for the catch. Though, apparently this one was at the 40. I felt like they were further downfield than that. Either way, plus side for Chicago. As a quick throw, caught. Duvernay. A final timeout called at the 33. Actor would be a fun career. I've done a couple of voice recording stuff, and that was always really fun. Let's see, 2nd and 4. With trips to the right-hand side, Caleb Williams, second guesses, but will just scramble forward. But with no way to stop the clock, he scrambles us to halftime. And the Giants right now cling on to a 13-7 lead. We'll take a look around the league here as well. Coach has got to spark a little bit of something in the team. Got to clean up that passing game. The Indianapolis Colts, wobbly pass there from Richardson, but skying up, spinning off, and getting a stiff arm as well. Well, a play like that, that's got to lead you to a touchdown and taking the hit as you cross the goal line. Downs with the touchdown and a 24-21 win. Denver 6-3. They host the Raiders, who are 5-3. And they hand this one off down the middle. Not Judy. The number and the hair. Genty spins in for the touchdown, and it's 23-17 in favor of the Raiders. What's up, Tolly? If I pronounced that correctly, hopefully I did. Sometimes really bad at pronouncing here. Lawrence scrambles. We've seen this on the channel. He can't pass, but he sure can run. 13-0. Jaguars up on the Texans. Man, I think Bangy's just out for blood here today. Derek, you say you're in drama. What kind of acting do you want? You want to be a action star? You want to play perhaps in football documentaries? Comedy? What's your thing? as we look to get the second half underway. Did plan on jumping into a little bit of some sim action, so we will get into that post kickoff here. As Chicago does start with the ball. Duvernay had some space down the middle. He takes it to the 32. Well, how about this, Derek? If you're going to be in the movies, right? If you ever need someone to make an appearance as a announcer at a game, you let me know. But we're going to get through a little bit of some sim action as a sack comes in. It's sexy Dexy. If only he could do that when we're actually out there playing. But the defense picks up the stop here out the gate, and the offense will take over. About the 25, it's thrown away by Dart. Hand the ball off to pick up 5. It's Tracy, but ultimately it's another 3 and out. The pass knocked away by Brisker. So not a whole lot of action. Said that one strangely. I think it's getting late here. But not a whole lot of action out the gate in the second half. For the 3rd and 8 defense, what do you got for us? Another stop. Chubb held short. Surprised they hand that ball off on a 3rd and 8. A battle of field position right now, and throwing the interception is Jackson Dart, and this time it wasn't me doing it. I guess if we're going to be giving the ball up and heading out at the 5, we might as well jump in. See if we could get a goal line semi-stand here. Derek into boxing. I used to give up touchdowns out the gate here to Odunze. It's his first on the season, and Chicago has the only bit of action so far in the 3rd quarter. And that draws this game a whole lot closer, putting Chicago in front with the PAT. But Derek, as I was saying, I used to run ringside cameras at some MMA fights. Those were always really entertaining. We'll say everyone's favorite thing, though, there was a boxer, or I don't know if he was more of the boxer or if he was more of a grapple kind of guy. Don't quite remember. But he had a service dog that he brought out with him every time. And everyone always loved to get their camera aimed right at the dog. There was more people watching the dog than the fighter during his walkout. But it looks like we have some work to do here. Though Tracy is putting work in on these other running backs in terms of receiving yards. Well over 100 more than the second running back. And that's because the traditional passing game has not worked out for the Giants this year. Tracy had a gap, but it closes quickly. Edmonds yet again. Only 5 tackles. I think the stats are wrong. I'll answer your question there, Derek, after this play. A 2nd and 8 here. As quick pressure, but lofted. Where's that been from Dart? Perfect throw to Johnson down the left sideline. But as for Derek asking why I decided to stream or make YouTube videos, I have a degree in sports media production. Emphasis on the producer side of things. And frankly, there are not a lot of jobs open to it, so I decided I would just produce my own. Simply done there. Get to be in charge of whatever I wanted to do as Tracy got space close to the first down. With 2nd and inches. We'll keep with a heavy set here. And it's again Tracy, and again met by Edmonds. Wear and tear, apparently no problem for Tracy. Yeah, I did a lot of sports stuff before. I still do sports stuff, but it's more on the fan side, not so much the media side now. So that is why I started making these YouTube videos. Lofted. Johnson nearly dropping in. Byard tips it away to end the 3rd quarter. Giants nearly find themselves on top with a shot to the corner of the end zone. But 14-3 here in Chicago as Chicago found their first lead with the Odunze cross midfield and found that end zone. I think what we should focus on a bit more here, I said it before the game and kind of gotten away from it because of Edmonds. I would love to get the running game going more here in the fourth quarter. We really need to block up number 49. We don't there, and he's got another tackle. He's got to be sitting close to 10, if not more. With a 3rd and 7 here. Let's get a drag route going. See if we can get Neighbors rack up. He's going to spread out to the left-hand side. 2 down in the backfield. Neighbors in motion left side. Safeties walk down. Instead, they throw across the middle. That is Johnson as he picks up yet another grab here. He's definitely been the favorite of late here for the Giants. Going hurry up. Giants right back to it. Tracy with the gap. And another gain of nearly a first down. Though the recently traded for, despite pounding his own chest and celebrating, Parham apparently is injured on the play. Celebrates and then works his way to the locker room. So that is a miss, and Schmitz is going to have to step back into guard, though playing the opposite side. 1st and goal, though they do mark it, so the NFL felt a little bit bad for us. They give us that first down. But then immediately losing some yards as I didn't fully read that last name, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Yeah, I'm going to need to see that written down. That's for sure. But 2nd and goal following the stuff off the left-hand side. Split backfield as well. Back at the 12. Dart has got to find a way to close off these drives. Rolling. Throwing another interception. Couldn't tell if that one was intended for Neighbors or for Booty. He had Neighbors on the crosser, and maybe this time he did finally throw it out in front, but it was too far out in front. And Derek, I know there's a lot of negativity headed your way, but if you like comic type of stuff, you could always just make your own too. You don't have to necessarily go to one of the top dogs in it right now, especially since DC is getting their stuff handed to them by Marvel. But it doesn't look like we are going to have Parham return to this game. So Schmitz is going to be the guy for the rest of the way as we need our defense to come through and get a stop as yet again Dart puts us in a bad spot. Handing this one off, it's Chubb, and he is stuffed by Sanders. The young outside linebacker, I believe he's playing Will for us, makes the play on the edge. At the 37-yard line. Now Chubb going to motion out here. Williams will look to bounce and shakes by Bobby Okereke and gets down cleanly, plus side. If you're wanting to put something in the DC universe, then yeah, you would have to have some sort of rights contract with DC. But if you put them in just your own universe, then you don't. As Chubb takes the handoff, he looks to get outside, and a loss of one. Bobby finally picks up the big play here for us. He's been on his back heels these last almost 2 games. As we approach 4.5 minutes left in this one, a 1-point game. Thibodeau with a clean rush, and he's got his first sack of the season. 3 on the day for the Giants. They jump in front of the Bears with 2, pushing them back to about midfield. The Bears will try to answer, coming out with a trip set. 3 to the right-hand side, though. Early movement. And it's just going to back up Chicago. Fans don't seem to like it very much either. We're going to back up our coverage a little bit here, coming out with some heavy coverage set. Only 3 down linemen at the 43. Just want to keep them outside of field goal range. Williams under pressure. Thibodeau with the hit and a 4th and 23. That will be a punt inside 4 minutes of the 4th quarter. About time Kayvon Thibodeau finally steps up. Traded away Brian Burns to give him some more playing time. Good cut on the outside there. Scattaboo cuts again to the outside. A good punt return and refuses to go down. But surrounded by about 7 Chicago Bears. They finally bring him down on the 27. Now, Dart, we need you to come through. We've given you a long, long leash. I'm sure some people are wondering if Wilson wants to play. As we go RPO, Robinson took the shoulder and initially bounced off of it, but I think there was a aftershock there. He hits the turf. It gains 2 yards on play 1, and it's 2nd and 8. Split backfield. Throws out wide. Shakes through 1, but ultimately still loses 1. You know what's worked pretty well so far is the screens. So 3rd and 9, inside 3 minutes to go and trailing by a point. It's Dart with the split backfield. Tracy outside, he's got a couple blockers that way. Neighbors a good block downfield. He jukes by the corner and gets lit up by Brisker. But he pops up no problem. Oh, now Banga, I wouldn't be messing around with Derek here. A Philly man? I don't mess with Philly. Brotherly love, you know? And also, Philadelphia, Bangy, it's not a state. I'm going to talk about bad spelling. I'm sorry, I'm going to throw you under the bus on that one. And Bangy, he said he wanted to be a boxer, so of course, he knows how to fight. You don't be a boxer if you don't know how to fight. Oh, with 2:03 left, about enough time for one more play here before the 2-minute warning. And it's Tracy weak side, tries to use the body of his teammate on the ground to pick up a block. He spins off that tackle attempt. And we head our way inside 2 minutes. That was a little bit of a graphical error. Don't tell me Johnson's down injured. Come on now. We don't have the depth for it, and he's going to barely make his way over to the bench. That is not a good sign. Right now, we are plus side, inside field goal range. We just got to chew some clock here. I am fine with a Graham Gano winning field goal. But we find Robinson across the middle, down to the 29. Now, high chance, but I feel like we could use with him here. We're close to the end of this game. So we're going to tape up that ankle quickly. And we're going to get the big old fella on the outside in Lamb motion over to help be the lead blocker. I love that. Scattaboo, the running back, as he's got a gap, but tracked down by Sweat. First timeout called Chicago. Now, if it worked once, will it work again? As we head through the timeout break, Lamb still out there. As right now, Johnson has yet to return. Bellinger has been the main man. Following fight and Scattaboo, he's got a couple more, and timeout 2 is called. We need 6 yards for a fresh set that just might set us up for a dub. And I think there's one guy who's done a lot of the gritty work for us, and I think he deserves a little bit of some love here. So 2nd and 6 at the 22. Biden picks up 1. We give it to the fullback. Oh, Bangy's a resell guy. You know, one of the sports teams I work with, they do a lot of gate giveaways. And the amount of people that sell stuff online right after is crazy. But a 3rd and 5 here. No timeouts. Give me those free yards. Dart with the hard count. Is this enough for the first down, though? No, instead 3rd and short, but we'll take that. Montez Sweat jumps off sides yet again. We'll go right back to some fullback love here. Strong eye formation. And Fiden will look to set up a field goal here as we will chew some clock. Or if we run the ball in, honestly, we'll take that as well. We'll chew that clock on down. I don't need any sort of crazy plays here, just a handoff down the middle. 3 timeouts in the Giants' back pocket. We'll see if they decide to use one. Play clock down inside 5. Inside 35 seconds. And it's Scattaboo. Planted by number 45. Not seeing the power so much here in Madden. Well, that clock does roll down to about 8 seconds. Timeout called perhaps slightly early there from Coach Bearington. He saw the numbers rush down and maybe panicked a little bit. We want to make sure we come out of here with a dub. From just inside the left hash, it's Gano, putting us ahead 16-14, and yet another close game for the Chicago Bears. Now with 5 seconds left, let's not let anything crazy happen here. I want them to return this one to waste some time. Let's make sure we don't let them do anything crazy with said return. As it's Duvernay spinning off a one. Good news, Banks is there. We have time for one final play. Chicago trying to avoid a losing streak will need a Hail Mary for the win. There's quick pressure, but not a problem for Williams, who gives up the game. Chicago takes the L at home. It is 16-14. And yet another gritty game for the New York Giants that honestly should not have been so close. But the play of Jackson Dart has been just about as dirty as that uniform is. He'll put together a great couple plays here and there, but he follows it by making some really bad throws, which should all have been possibly touchdowns. We get away with a few in this one, and we take that dub. The good news is I don't have to get any sort of thumbnail stuff, so we could just move right on along. But for our final game here today, we do pick up that dub. We go 500 on the day, and we'll get an update here on Theo Johnson, as I don't see any sort of injuries, which is good. So we'll give him a possession upgrade boost to help with that catch in traffic, which does go up 1+3 to short route running, and the spin move improves as well. We do have an injury. We did have one of our offensive linemen in Parham make his way to the locker room after just getting back Jermaine Illuminor. And it is a quad tear for Parham. And this is a contract year for him, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to make a decision for us very tough on if we look to extend him, as he will be out at least 6 weeks, potentially up to 10. Which, if it is 10, that is his season done. We'll just sim on over to the next week, and with that, I will look to bring myself back into this thing as we look to close things out. But does anyone have any questions, anything they want to see here stat-wise, how a certain team is doing? And we do get the upgrade to Ground Guardian, so that is good. Hopefully with that, we'll start to see a little bit of some more boost here for our running backs. Now, nothing else here popping up. Do just want to check in on our injured teammate, and it's still 6 to 10 weeks. So it's still looking pretty rough here for our offensive line. Schmitz is back into the starting lineup. As I take a quick adjustment here. Yeah, talking about Maddens and which one. Honestly, I've heard people talk about it before of doing bi-yearly Madden, so every other year, and just putting out a roster update. Honestly, I think could be huge. Just give these development teams 2 years to actually get things right when the game first goes out. We've had Madden out for what now? About month, 2 months, almost 2 months, month and a half. And I still can't see both teams' uniforms. When I try to play a game, I can only choose and see one of them. I can still choose both, but you can't see both. They finally fixed the menus, so even if, we'll show it here. Not adjust. I guess it'll work in the adjust lineups, but you could actually get to the players a lot quicker. This time it did actually bring up the player. That's good. Sometimes it doesn't even bring up the player. It's just a black screen with the UI overlay. So some things definitely I think could be better. And if they do the bi-yearly, then perhaps we would actually see things progress. Better graphics when the games come out, better mechanics. Will they do it? No, because they make a bunch of money. But if they were to do that, you could alter back and forth between Madden and college football and just make everything better. But we're not going to have that. The world's not built for that. Companies want their money and we keep paying for it. So it is what it is. But we've got Green Bay up next. We're going on an NFC tour here outside of the Vikings. Green Bay and the Lions up next. And for the Lions, they are 6-3, one of the top teams here in the NFC. Currently the fourth in NFC at 6-3. Green Bay are 3-6. They are actually one of the two teams worse than us right now, though we have a game in hand on them. Again, before we look to leave here, anyone want to see certain stats, or are we good to look to close this thing out? I think my mouse just died. So that's great. Let me switch around some cordage here. Hopefully it doesn't come too much through the mic. Because if I don't have a mouse, I can't close the stream. That's how that works. But I guess one thing we can just look at here. Overall, stat leaders. Joe Burrow leading in passing yards right now with 2,498, 22 touchdowns. Mahomes has 28. Sack leader is 15 with Hutchinson, 13 with Crosby, 12 for Quinnen Williams. Interception leader is Patrick Queen. And I'm pretty sure, is it Jamal Dean? Because I see Jay Dean and I immediately think Jimmy Dean, but it's not the sandwich guy. McDuffie also has 5, so 3 guys with 5 interceptions. Rushing leader, Derrick Henry already over 1K. Kamara, 731. Gibbs, 716. Receiving leader, Puka Nacua with 824 and 8 touchdowns. Ayuk, though, has 12 touchdowns. And Amari Cooper with... Actually, who is he with? I'm going to have to check that out here. Give me receiving leaders. And he is with the Bengals. It's an interesting pickup for them. Didn't think they had the money for it, but apparently they do. The Bengals, they are once again 3 deep. Not seeing any more questions coming in or requests for anything, so I think we will look to wrap things up as long as I can figure out how to get this mouse here working for me. Derek coming in here just at the very end. We're just looking to close things out here, just asking if there are any stats or players or anything like that that people are looking to see before we close out the stream. And in the meantime, trying to figure out why my mouse is not working. It is plugged in. It is charging. Well, now let's check out some other stuff in the meantime here. One thing we have not done in a while just dawned on me here. Oh, to Coach Central is we've got a lot of points that we could be spending that might actually help us out a little bit. So if we just take a look at what our options are here for Coach. Can't get any of these yet. We need level 9. We're currently level 6. And Derek, appreciate you being here throughout and supporting as well. There we go. That just shined bright in my face. You guys probably saw the red light. Mouse is back alive. Leave a thumbs up for the mouse. Yeah, we definitely have some points to look to spend here. So I'll take a look at these in between and see if there's anything we could do to help try to boost some certain positions, perhaps, or just get us going in the right direction. As again, we continue to trade back and forth with the wins and losses, a little bit more losses than wins, 4 and 6. You have to look up here before we leave, because I am not quite sure. I got my computer up. Why not just use the computer instead of pulling up the phone here? Giants record from 2024. What did they finish with? 3 and 14. So with the win against the Bears, we have already put forth a better season than the Giants did last year. So that is already a win here for Coach Bearington. He has improved this team, and we have the whole second half to look to build upon it. Make sure you guys are here for it. If you have not already, hit the bear icon in the bottom right corner or scroll down, hit that sub button, and tap the bell icon to be notified of when all these videos go live, including the streams, the pre-recorded videos, and leave the boys some love. It's always greatly appreciated. It does very much help out the channel by smashing that thumbs up button if you have not already. Appreciate the goodbyes there at the end, but that is going to be the end. Appreciate all of you being here today. Even if you are watching post-stream, we'll see you guys tomorrow for Kent State. Again, that one will probably be out. I have to record it in the morning, so probably anywhere from around the 3 to 5 o'clock Pacific time window. So do your math to find out your time zone. But that is when we'll be back next, as there is a interesting thing on the line here. Coach Ty has challenged his receivers, and the reward, if they come up, will be hilarious. So until then, we'll see you guys later. Look to close this out here, and we will see you next time.